Hello there. Are you a member of the middle class? Well, you might not be for much longer. If things keep going the way they are, this socioeconomic group will be gone for good. For years, the majority of people enjoyed a comfortable life with a nice home, a car, and enough money to get by. But times have changed, and things are looking bleaker by the day. So let us explain why the middle class is getting crushed and set to disappear, and most importantly, how you can avoid this fate and not only survive, but thrive. But before we dive into why the middle class is about to disappear, let's understand who makes up this socioeconomic group in the first place. According to PEW research, those who make up the middle class are people whose household annual incomes are between $52,000 and $156,000 a year. Typically, those in this economic class are college or university educated, and many share similar professional backgrounds. For instance, a standard middle-class household could be a couple consisting of a nurse and an accountant, a mechanic and a school teacher, or any other sort of combination. When you hear the names of these professions, one of the last things that would come to mind is the word poor. However, given the current situation of the middle class, this is exactly what these individuals are set to become. You see, the middle class has never been in such a dire situation. In fact, many years ago, being middle class was almost the preferred class to be in. Being in the lower class had many drawbacks, such as little purchasing power and less than ideal work conditions. And quite frankly, being in this class still possesses many of the same deficiencies. The upper class, on the other hand, was often plagued with tons of work hours. While these upper-level jobs did pay well, the trade-off in quality of life did suffer. The middle class, up until recent decades, offered people the opportunity to work a job, spend time with family, and ultimately lead a very balanced and enjoyable lifestyle. Think of your granddad, who could go to work at a mill, come home for dinner, and spend the evenings playing with his kids or working on the lawn. Oh, how times have changed. Since the 1970s, the number of people in the middle class has dropped from 62% of the population all the way down to just 42%. If you do the math, that is literally millions of people who are sliding backwards economically. And if this trend continues, you can see how the middle class is set to disappear forever. So the question we must answer is, why is this socioeconomic class shrinking, and what are the consequences? The first reason the middle class is struggling more than ever is the rising cost of everything. In recent years, the cost of all the staples we need in our lives has gone up dramatically, leaving us with a choice. Do we forego the necessities of life, or do we acquire them and suffer the consequences that come with it? One great example of this is the cost of homes. In February 2022, on average, home prices in the US rose by just under 20%. So for example, that single-family home that you and your partner were looking to buy for $500,000 would have risen in price up to $600,000. Why is this a problem? There are many reasons. First, based on a 20% down payment, that would leave you having to save up an extra $20,000, which most families cannot do in a single year. Second, the more expensive home you buy, the greater your mortgage payments will be, ultimately restricting your cash flow each and every month. Now, let's talk about the second reason why the middle class is getting crushed. Stagnant wages. The cost of living is increasing, but wages are not keeping up with inflation, which means people are making less money in real terms. This is a huge problem because it puts a strain on families and individuals who are struggling to make ends meet. In addition, many people in the middle class are working multiple jobs just to pay the bills. According to a study by the Economic Policy Institute, the median wage for non-college educated workers has barely increased since 1979, while the cost of living has skyrocketed. This means the people who are not college educated are especially vulnerable to the effects of wage stagnation. The third reason why the middle class is disappearing is the rise of automation and outsourcing. As technology continues to improve, many jobs that were previously performed by humans are now being done by machines. This means that many workers in the middle class are being replaced by automation, which leads to job losses and a decrease in wages. Moreover, outsourcing is also having a significant impact on the middle class. Many companies are moving their operations to countries where labor is cheaper, which means that jobs are being lost in the United States. This not only affects the workers who are losing their jobs, but it also puts pressure on the workers who remain, as they are forced to compete with workers in other countries who are willing to work for lower wages. So, what can you do to avoid being crushed by these economic forces? The first step is to educate yourself about the issues facing the middle class. Watch videos like this one, read books and articles, and stay informed about the latest developments. Secondly, you can take steps to increase your income. This could mean starting a side hustle, taking on additional work, or even going back to school to increase your earning potential. Thirdly, you can reduce your expenses by living within your means. This means cutting back on unnecessary expenses, avoiding debt, and saving as much money as possible. Finally, you can take action to advocate for policies that support the middle class. This could mean supporting politicians who prioritize the interest of working families, joining a union, or participating in local activism. Dear 101 community, the middle class is getting crushed and disappearing because of a combination of factors, including rising costs, stagnant wages, and automation and outsourcing. However, by educating yourself, increasing your income, reducing your expenses, and advocating for policies that support working families, you can avoid being a victim of these economic forces and thrive in an uncertain world. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe for more financial education content. Also, do not forget to check out the links in the video description. Watch our video appearing on the screen. We are sure this will also help you on your path to financial education.